Alrighty, it is time for us to get started again. How's everyone doing? Good, good, good. Had a good break.
Yeah, it.
Were you able to digest everything so far? You know, those that missed class the last time, it's a little bit challenging, but that's okay. We can get it right. I still cannot see my video. Okay, there you go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yes, we've seen a few examples of using those classes to be able to get our solutions there. So that's very, very important. Let me drag that back in there. Make this smaller. Do we have any outstanding questions? Anything that you like us to revisit so far? So Nigel, you wanted to see the output. Does this help you a little bit to be able to see the output when you actually use that? Again, you create a class that you use and then you can write whatever you need to get your outputs, right? Awesome, awesome. So creating it should be straightforward from now on. You can go ahead and create a second employee. Employee 2. Spell that will help. And the same light, employee dot employee, and give them a name. See, I switched tabs, so I have to forget Mark Jones 39. So here we have Mark Jones 39119. And this guy is in IT and he's a programmer. There we go. Mark Jones is created. You can go ahead and create another person. Employee 3 is now employee. And that should be, let me close it at once if I forget. Joy Rogers, Joy Rogers. And yeah, obviously I forgot that one. Joy Rogers should be 81779 Capturing and engineer. So that's it. But again, we might not have to do that each time. Maybe we want to be flexible and get the users to enter their own values. So we can use a loop for let's say I in range 5. We're going to run it 5 times. We want to be able to prompt the user for a name. So let's say name now should be equal to input. And maybe we want it to be descriptive. Please enter name of employee. And take it to a new line. Also, we want them to also enter the number for, what was that, ID number. ID number now should be equal to input is enter ID number. For ID, but since we know it has to be an integer, we need to go ahead and cast that by using integer around it, and we should be good. But we want to make sure that each time they enter this, the value is correct. So if that's the case, we need a try clause that does that. What am I missing here? Get an exception. I need to go back and do exception. All right, so what am I missing? Any ideas? When you have a try clause, what do you have to do in order to catch the try clause? Anyone? Yes, bye.
Yes, now you have a try. So if the ID number is not an integer,
Yeah.
it's going to throw an error.
But why am I not having this in green? What's going on?
Oh, okay. Try ID.
Yeah, it should be in green.
Should be
Anybody?
should be capital. No,
That's
small.
right. It should be
Small.
lowercase.
Yeah,
It's
lowercase.
in lowercase, right?
All
So if
right.
I have it in lowercase, I should then be able to get it. So now I should probably get an error that says is enter valid. Put and probably exit. If it doesn't work, that's what's going to happen. Otherwise, my number is going to be just fine. Now the next thing I need is a department and the title. Now I want department and title. The department of employee and the title of employee. Since I've gotten all of that, I can go ahead and add a new employee. Employee now should be equal to everything that I've inputted so far. Okay. Yes, question by. I think your hand is still up. Maybe it's from the last time. All right. So this would be a good way to go ahead and input an employee. But if we want to go ahead and maybe add a collection of employees, rather than just having employees hanging all over the place, we can create a collection and say list of employees. Oh, let's call it employee list. What's another name of an employee list? Is it a roster or something like that? So employee list could be, let's just say it's an empty list. And go ahead and start adding our employees in there. So in here, we can say that's just an employee. And then we go ahead and do employee list dot append. Append should be able to add it to the end, right? We want to go ahead and append employee. Should be just fine. At the end of the day, we want to probably print out the list. If you want to traverse the list, what do we need to do? For employee in employee list, and go ahead and print employee. Should be just fine. So hopefully this works out. Let's see how many errors we get. Print employee. I need it in parentheses. How did I do that? So let's go ahead and enter the name. Wow, I could not even spell off. Okay, that's horrible. Enter the name. Let's say Aaron. Employee ID 123. Department IT. title GM, and it's giving me an error. Tuple object has no attribute. Oh my goodness, I created a tuple instead of a list. All right, that's great. So that's a list, and the other is a tuple. Okay, so make sure you remember that since I created a tuple, I could not go ahead and append at the end because a tuple doesn't have that. Good catch. Let's try that again. And Aaron, hopefully this time you get added. Employee ID 123 again, still in IT, and he's the manager. Now we go to the next employee. So maybe one thing we might have done is maybe say, please enter employee number I, enter employee number, so on and so forth. So this time we're going to get Nigel. His ID is 246. He's also in IT, and he is the team lead. Now we have Bai, the next employee. He's employee 987. Department is IT still. No, let's give him sales. He's a VP. Now we have Vitus, is the next employee. ID is 007. Department is also sales. And he is member. Oh, we still have one more to go. Let's try Anne. ID 777. Employee is marketing. Title is AVP. Now, instead of printing the actual employee, it's printing the location of that object in memory. So this is the location of the object in memory. If we wanted to print a particular value of the employee, we need to then say employee dot display employee. That display employee now is going to call this method, and it's going to print it nicely, rather than having it to print the location in memory. So that's how we'll go about using all those different pieces. We're able to use a loop to get 5 employees. We're also able to use a loop to traverse an employee. We're able to use a list. I should add a comment in there. Create is to hold employees. The only thing we really didn't do here is have a, what do you call it? A condition, right? To take place to do a particular situation. But that's what you need then in the case where we have this, to add conditions in there. So based on the output or based on the input of the user, you have a condition and so on and so forth. But yeah, if we want to try catching out the error, let's try employee name, Vitus, employee ID, ABC. Oh, it still gives us the same stuff. So it didn't catch that error. It's supposed to change it to an integer. If it didn't change it, it should have quit. Oh, that's not good. Oh, let's stop that. Now when I stop it, that's when it's going to give me an error. Excellent. So yes, that would be an example of how you go ahead and create this. You know, an employee, you can create it manually. You can get user input. You can look through as many as, maybe if you have 5 employees, or you can ask them to enter how many employees do you want to enter. Once they enter that value, you can go ahead and loop that number of times and ask them to enter that value. Or you can just have a text file that has all the input, and then you pull the data from your text file. That way it's easier. So that has to do with the examples we have here, where you write a program with a function that accepts a string as an argument and then returns a number. If I can read the number of vowels that are in the string, and also application should have another function that accepts a string as an argument and returns a number of consonants in that case. So here again, understand a string is a set of, I want to say set, no, a sequence of characters per se. All right, what questions do you have? Everybody good? Solid, solid, solid. Would you like us to check out the example with maybe example 2, since it's talking about files? I know we haven't looked at files today at all. Everybody okay? Or not? Yeah, Aaron, I think you already completed this one. Do you want to go ahead and try it out?
I did. I'm in the process, so I did number 1 instead.
Oh, you did
So-
number 1 instead?
Yes. So I've done number 1, and number 2 was almost done, but I was still trying to think the process of going through number 2.
Yeah. So do you want to go ahead with and show us what you have for number 1?
Yes, I can do that. Just give me a second.
Sounds good. Take your time. We'll be waiting.
Yeah, let me see what I have here.
Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen so you can take over.
Okay. Okay, number 1. Present now. Okay. Okay. This one. Sure.
Okay.
Let me know what you see.
Yep, we can see exercise 1 file.
Okay. Hide this one. So is W a consonant? A vowel? I don't know. Okay, let's see. So
Right, go for it.
okay. I'll just put the space here. So I used I created a function to do that.
Yeah.
And I just put everything in one function, right? So I have count, vowel, and consonant,
Yeah.
and my parameter is a string.
Looks good.
Okay, because I wanted to count the vowel and the consonant. I started with 0 as a tracker. And then what I did was, again, because my initial input is right here, I'm asking input from the user.
Mm-hmm.
So user string input. Enter a string, program will print number of consonants and vowels in that string.
Yeah.
And then this is a function itself. So I'm just doing a for loop, right? It said if a character is in that string,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I should take this away. I don't need this one. I was trying to remove a space or something, but it was not working. Okay. So, if character in string, which is the input, the parameter,
Yeah.
I want to change it to uppercase just so I can count everything properly.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Then if character is equals to A or character equals to E, again, these are all the vowels that I have.
Yeah.
If that is the case, I'm just increasing my vowel count by 1.
Okay.
Right. Maybe I should do this. I don't know. What maybe I should do this. I'm just increasing that by 1. And if this condition fails, I'm actually increasing my consonant count by 1.
Excellent.
So if I print this stuff, let me see. I have to fill it a bit here. So I'm getting the length of the string,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get the count of the vowels, and then I get the count of the consonant within that function, and then I just call my function right here with the user input. Right. So if I try to run that, and then if I enter, I don't know, if I enter Calgary, hit enter, gives my output. So a length of string of Calgary is 7. Is 7. The vowels, number of vowels 3, and then count of consonant 4.
So are you counting Y as a vowel?
That's because that's what I have here. So I can so this is what I have here, right? You see that here?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's why. But if I take these 2 away, then I should be good. I should be good. I'll just do that right now. I was just counting everything. So Y and that. So if I do that, it's gonna run properly. So again, if I do, I agree, hit enter. So I have 7, A2, and the rest is 5.
Excellent, excellent.
Mm-hmm. So that's everything I did.
Good. So you're able to do everything in one quick shot.
Yeah, because I was like, the second question is actually the else statement.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought I should just leave it here.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
What if you typed in, what if it, let's see, I can't remember. Did it say, okay, accepts a string? Okay. So if the string has a space in there, how do you handle that?
So that's why I was trying to use replace to bring it together. But replace did not work, so I have to find out. I have to do a bit of investigation. I use trip. Trip actually remove everything at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
But I was trying to get something that will take that, because if I do this, and that's a good question you ask. If I do this here, so if I do, just say it's what I actually. If I do this,
yeah,
counting the space, right?
Yes.
It counts the space between. It counts the space.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I was looking for maybe a method that will help me to bring that together before it does the count. So but this is gonna fail in terms of the length, because I'm looking at the vowel and consonant, right? And for sure, space is not of them. Neither of them, so it will not count. But the length will fail.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's going to fail, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I need to look for a method that squeezes the input into one string or something, if I may say that.
So you had an issue using replace. What was the issue?
Because it wasn't. I didn't get the. It did not change my stuff, because when I do, I want to do replace.
Yeah. So
replace actually takes the space that I'm looking for, and then it replaces it with not space.
Yeah.
When I do that, if I run that, and then I do if I do that, this is supposed to be 8, but it was giving me 9. See that?
Okay, so one thing you have to remember here is that remember the string methods really do not return any value. Does it return a value? So you have to first of all create a copy of that string with the replace.
Oh yes.
Right.
Wait. Because the string is, how do you call it? Immutable or what? I don't know that language.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. I get that. I
Yeah.
get that. So I'm gonna change that right here, and then I will see
Yeah.
if that works. Let me do it here. Modified string input. If I do this, I can give it equal to I will do replace add.
Yeah. I think that's good. But you
Now I
have
should
to
put
put the old
user
string.
string
Yeah.
user underscore string underscore input dot
There you go.
add. Okay. So if I change this one,
Yeah.
this one, no, if in but what am I doing here?
Yeah. You have that. You have everything okay. You just have to make sure that when you call, your definition is totally fine. You don't need to replace anymore in your definition.
Yeah, I have to call this, right?
Yeah, now you want to make sure that you use your modified string in there.
Yeah.
Yep, and then it should be good. But you don't need, I think there's a line up there where you still use the replace. On line 19, you don't need to replace anymore. You can just do the upper.
Yeah, keeps it's not been working. Oh my goodness, that's good. I do that. Yeah. The town. No, it doesn't. It didn't work.
No, so it's 4 and 4, right?
But my length is still 9.
Okay, let's see. What do we get for the length? You're still using user string for the length. At the end of line 28, you should use modified.
Okay, cool. I'll
Yes.
just change both now, then I should be good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see. Your turn. Good. Yeah.
Looks
Thank
good.
you. Yes, it's working.
Excellent.
Yeah. This stuff, I have to start to think differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's totally
Yes.
fine. It's totally fine. Yeah. So again, you did a wonderful job. Like we said, there are many ways you can get to it. In another case, rather than having line 20, looking at each character, you already did it on line 9. If you create a list to hold all your vowels,
Yes.
right, you can just go ahead and say, hey, for every character in your string, check if it's in that list. So that if you want to make changes, you don't have to go about making a difficult change. You can just change the list and you're fine.
Cool. Yeah.
Right. Excellent. So let's see. Do we have enough time? Yeah, in about 15 minutes. Let's see. One thing that I did not touch at all is the last question. Let me see if I got it here. I'll close this and share my screen. There you go. All right. So our last question here, the golf scores. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So there's a tournament every weekend, and the general manager has asked you to write 2 programs. A program that will reach each player's name and the golf score as a keyboard input, and then save this as records in a file named golf.txt. Each record will have a field to the player's name and a field for the player's score. So again, let's see, how do we do this? Probably go ahead and define variables, ask the user to enter those variables, assign it, right? Once you've assigned them, you go ahead and write it to a file. Writing it to a file is straightforward, right? Just do, let's say, open the file. Obviously, the file, you have to open it in writing mode. If the file is not in there, you can create a new file, and that's good. So let me see if I can do a quick demo here. Oops, I should actually go ahead and create a folder that way things are organized. Exercise 2. And this one that was created, I'm going to drag it into exercise 2. And let's go ahead and just say the things we need to do. Set up things from the onset. After setting it up, I want to prompt user for input. Afterwards, I want to go ahead and open the file. Now you have to remember, when you open a file, there are many ways you can open a file. You can open it in read, append, or write mode. So we want to open it in write mode so that we can make changes to it. Then next, you write the data. That's it. Always important also to close your file. So if we can do all of those, we should be just fine for part 1. And then part 2 says the program reads the records from that file and displays them. Let's start with part 1. The quick setup that we need to do then is, let's just get the name of the golfer. Let's just call it golfer. Going to be blank for now. We're just having stuff, variables to hold those values. Score is 0, and the number of players maybe is 0 as well. Now let's prompt the user to enter those values. Prompt user for input, please enter number of players. So we say players should be equal to input. I'm going to go ahead and make it an integer to begin with. So we're asking them to enter the number of players, right? So once they've done that, we can go ahead and open our file in write mode. I'm going to just say output file. Should then be, it's simple, just use the open keyword. Open, I'm going to call it golf.txt maybe. That's the name of the file, and it's going to be opened in write mode. Right, looks good. Now for us to write data in the file, we need to go ahead and cycle it based on the number of players that they have, right? So for, oops, how did I get there? For, let's just use count. Range, players. Want to then prompt name and score. So if we want to do that, there's something wrong with this. I don't think this is supposed to be. I'm going to have an error. That looks like a really huge tab. I hope I'm not going to get an error in there. Anyway, name would be his input name. Always good to be nice. And then the golf score. Actually, not name. I should make it golfer. I already had that in there. Golfer score. Then equal to integer input underscore. Yeah. And then that's it for that part. Next, we want to write data to the file. How do we write the data to the file? It's very simple. You just call output file dot write. Now we can go ahead and put the golfer's name. See. And maybe just make it go to a new line. Do the same thing for golfer score. The golfer score is going to be tricky, so let me go ahead and just use fprint, fstring. All right, looks good. Once all of that is done, this is definitely gonna give me an error. I can't believe this. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my cursor, why it's doing this to me. I'd rather be safe than sorry. All right. So now I just need to close my file and I should be good. So how do I close the file after going through that loop? Oh my goodness. I just have to do output file. Wow, let's take me back there. Output file.close. Good. As all of that is done, I should be able to see that file out here. So let's execute it. Syntax, output file, what am I in there? What am I missing? Valid syntax somewhere. Yep, because I'm forgetting that bracket right there. Excellent. All right, good. Now I'm missing something else. Players is not defined. Oh my goodness, why is there a negative sign there? Okay. So yeah, all those things happen, you know. If you have fat fingers like myself, especially since I'm looking at multiple screens, I'm not able to concentrate correctly. But number of players, let's say I want 3 players. Enter the name, I'll start with Nigel. Ooh. Invalid literal for int. Oh my goodness, this should not be int, that should be inputs. My code is terrible, I cannot believe this. Let's make it 2. Enter name, Nigel. The score is, I don't even know how golf scores work. Hopefully 75 is comfortable. But let's see, Aaron, let's say 96. I don't know which is better. So all of
like
that.
Lower numbers are better. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. No, don't listen to me. I have no clue what golf is.
Good for you. So all of this now, we have created that file and saved it, but you don't see it because I haven't refreshed it yet. If I refresh now, I should be able to see it. Obviously not. Don't tell me. Okay, sorry, it went all the way
Yeah,
out.
you created it. Yeah.
Yeah, I created it. It went outside because yeah, I should specify the absolute location. So if I open this file, you can see Nigel and Aaron are in there. Okay.
Mhm.
So if I go back and I try to read that file, which is the next part, it says a program that reads the records from the file and displays them. So what I need to do then is just go ahead and say, open the file. Let me open a new program. Let me rename this write file. Create a new program. I can do it in a new cell. That's fine. I don't need a new program. No, let's be prudent and create a new program.
Mhm.
Let's say read. So for me to read that file, what do I need to do? Maybe go ahead and have those variables again that I used earlier. I'm just going to have a variable for the line, which is going to be a string. So I go with those things again. Local variables. I'm also going to have the name of the golfer. I'm also going to need the golf score. It should be 0 to begin with, and the number of golfers. Yes, should be equal to 0 to get started. Now that I've gotten those, I need to open that file. Right? How do I open the file? I need to open it in read mode. Previous time we opened it in write mode. So to open it, let's say input file equal to open of, hopefully I can spell it correctly, txt, in quotes though. Now I want it in read mode. There you go. That's it. So now I want to go ahead and read the first name. It's in that first line. We took a look at the file. This is what the file looks like.
Mhm.
So read the first line would have our name. Name would be input file dot line. That's it. So once we've read that, next thing is we need to read until there's no data. Once you read the first time, the next thing you have to do is, let's say, loop through and read until the end. So for us to read until the end, what do? We use a while loop. That's one thing we haven't used yet. So we're saying that each time you read a line, assign it to this value name. So we're going to check each time that name is not empty, then we're going to read the score. So when we read the score, what we get is golf. Actually, I shouldn't have used name in here. Golf score. Should use golfer. That name is going to throw me off. We're reading the score. The golf score now should be equal to integer value of whatever we're getting from our input file, just like this one. So that's what's going to go into the next line. Does that make sense? Everybody good?
Yeah, it looks like I was thinking Just on a different wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah, so again, it's important to get those read and writes. Once we've gotten it, now we're good. We can then go ahead and I know each of them, there is, when you see this, it means there's a \n between 75 and Nigel. So we want to go ahead and clean that up, right? So what we need to do is strip new line. So to strip the new line, we're going to say the golfer now equal to whatever that golfer was, and our strip. What are we stripping? New line. Now that we've done that, we go ahead and display. See, that's what it wanted us to do, right? Display them. Display info, display the information. All you have to do is print it. Print it. Let's start with, yeah, I'm going to do F string here. Of, yeah, I should probably, oh, no way. Let's go ahead and say name. It's a golfer. And then print as well. Oh. This time around, I want the golf score. We're going to do score. Golf score. Once that is done, we have to go ahead and also read a new line again. So each time you do that, you go ahead and read your next line. What am I missing here? What is this giving me? What am I missing? For some reason, I'm unable to get my... It's really not nice. Okay, what am I missing here? Let's maximize this and see. Maybe that's why it's throwing me off. I can't see clearly. So display the information. All that information needs to be displayed. It shouldn't take me to the next line. It should take me right there. I'm not done with that loop. Okay, I think that's where the problem is. Found it. Alrighty. There you go. So with next line. With the next line, the golfer is going to now be that input. And after you're done with all of that, you close the line. So let's go ahead and close input file. Close. And we're good. So this should be easy then. So go ahead, set up your variables. I don't think we even needed players in here. But that's if I wanted to specify, if I know the number of players, I could just use a for loop. But here I'm just going to say read until the end. So let's try executing that and see if it works. We have an error message. No such file in directory. Possibly because the file is open. or it's in the wrong directory. So let's try this again. Yep, unfortunately no can do. So let's go to the file and get the file's location. Copy path, where is it? Where is it? Copy path. And where is it? I cannot see. Oops, that's because it's not there. So let me comment the path out. Message target. I said copy path and it did that. So it looks like I probably need to move that out here. And let's copy the whole file and bring it back in here. All right, now it should work just fine. Looks good. Yeah, I always have a difficult time when I'm working with Jupyter because the path is kind of funky. Otherwise, if I have to do that, I'll probably have to do backslash, nope, forward slash possibly. And then it's going to go up. Let me rename this file and see if that works. And execute this. Yep, it doesn't know that file. So 2 dots. And try that. There you go. So in order for me to go 2 steps or 1 step up, I need to go ahead and do 2 dots, and so I'm still able to see the file. It's in the other folder right here. Okay. Everybody good? So in here, I can come into this one and type in as many players as I want. And I should be able to go in and read that information. Let's give them some really interesting scores. All right, so now I'll go ahead with that, save it, yeah. Let's go ahead and run this again. And we can still get all our scores. Looks good. And the same way, we can probably go ahead and add more information in there. Now, if we're writing, it's just going to open it, and then we write, meaning we're going to overwrite everything that's already there. If we don't want to override what's in there, then we need to use append. Otherwise, we're going to have issues. So remember, reading is just obviously reading everything. Writing means you're going to overwrite, you're going to replace the file. But if you want to make changes or just add, then you need to change and use append. Sounds good?
Yep.
All right, what questions do we have? I think we are, wow, we are over time. And we're able to look at those assessments. So I'll give you time to finish your homework. And again, need access to our classroom. Obviously, I can't see. Where is the classroom? Access to our classroom would be week 4 assignment. There it is. So yeah, if you need access, let me know. I'll send you this code and you should be able to go in and check out the classwork, do all the exercises that we need to, and we should be good to go. So tomorrow we'll look at libraries and frameworks. Everybody remembers what the difference is between libraries and frameworks, right? So if you need a quick reminder, again, you can go into our curriculum on our very first day, I think. That's when we talked about libraries and frameworks, okay? So go in, navigate through. If you don't want to watch the entire video, you can go through the slides. It gives you a breakdown. I think there's one that Aaron really liked, which has to talk about data types, variables, statements, functions. All of these can be used as modules, right? Which we have in a file. A class, for instance, a class that we've created are modules. We use those to create packages, which are groups of modules. So when you package your file, you have all these different, or you package your application, you have all these different files that you put together in a folder and ship off or put in a location where everybody can use. The libraries, we've just been using libraries, importing libraries as well. There are sets of packages. You can have multiple folders, but the framework, again, is having all those essential pieces, like the framework of a house. We're just going to use little bits and pieces of code to be able to change the essential parts that we need in there. And the framework is going to be calling our code. Meanwhile, our code is calling a library, or calling a class, or calling a method, or calling a module. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about those. I have some fun libraries that are used in data science, and some fun libraries that are used in web development and the visualizations, you name it, there is one. And for frameworks, it's mostly for web development. So we'll look at all of those tomorrow. Sounds good? Questions, comments, concerns? We are 12 minutes after the hour. I'll let you guys go, and then tomorrow we'll catch up again at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
You are welcome.